High-grade Universal Century Banshee Norn Unicorn Mode. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, gundam.tk, continuing my look at the high-grade Universal Century Banshee Norn with all of its extra armed armor, 3 different sets. You've seen the parts in the unbox, now it's time to put it all together and check out this MS. And when he's all put together, I've got to say that my impression of this guy is more positive than I thought it normally would be. I think fans are going to be generally split as to those that like the Unicorn mode and those that like the Destroy mode. I'm definitely a Destroy mode proponent, and I don't think you'll ever see my Master Grade displayed in Unicorn mode. And that's why, of course, I just bought the Destroy mode of the HGUC, but now with the Norn, it's a good excuse because of the extra weapons that they're going to be throwing in. But overall, I've got to say that I'm actually pretty impressed with the way that he looks. First of all, it's just a solid design there, lines in all the right places that you can go ahead and line up, but you know it's going to be used well in the transformation. And the gold seals that are going to be used down on the legs and on the side armor is going to look good. And the top parts, even though that I didn't do any painting there for the face mask and for the chest and for the unicorn fin there, no problems at all, I'd say. It's actually a pretty nice compliment to the blue there. But you do have to give props to those gold seals there on the back, which are going to be visible as you can see them poking out from under the arms and looking impressive for it. Mobility now, where you're going to be able to move up the front skirts there, not independently, legs up this way and off to the sides. You can see that the old ball joints inside are only going to give you about a 45-degree bend. But if you want to come forward, you'll see that the knee is going to do an okay job there, but if you do exert it too much, it's just going to pop out. So a little more than 90, but not 135, I'd say. And down here for the ankles, these are going to be moving well off to the side and front and back. The upper body rotates all the way around if you want to go ahead and do that, and you'll see that it's going to wiggle just a little bit left to right. And when you spin the arm around here, the armed armor XC is just going to cause a little bit of problems here, but not all that bad. You can get the arm around it there. The shoulders are going to be moving up like this, as you can see that they move inside the body itself, and you can bring the arm up like this. This will rotate around, and the arms are only going to give you 90 degrees, and I got to say that that's just a little bit disappointing, considering that you don't have any cool psycho frame parts that should be restricting the mobility. Height comparison now, where you can see the Unicorn mode and the Destroy mode here side by side. This guy's going to be a lot taller, as he should be, but if you actually take a look at the V-fins up there, you'll see that there's not going to be all that much difference, but if you look at the top of the shoulders there, you can see that clearly this guy is a lot more hulked up. And in terms of the colors here, remember that this guy's going to be painted as opposed to the yellow, as it comes right out of the package over here. And for fellow space speed testers here, you can see the ZSR here from Gundam Age. And here he is next to a robot Damashi Gundam F91. And finally, full frontals, custom mobile suit that never quite appeared as a variation in Char's counterattack. Armed up here, you're just going to swap off the hands there. This one's got a nice peg so that it's actually going to fit in there well, and the trigger finger extended. Ground posing now, where the B Magnum is definitely going to have a different feeling from what we got to see with the VN etc. on the Destroy mode here, but a B Magnum is a B Magnum, and when you add on that revolving launcher, it's got a very nice super napalm effect. But to really make this guy exciting, you're going to be able to take off the XC parts here, spread them out, and then when you plug in the shield here, you can see that he's going to be getting a lot taller there with a lot of gold exposed there, as not only are you going to have these little finger-like things down below, but because you're going to have the gold there exposed, that's going to be helped even more by taking the bottom parts and swinging them up there. However, something about the overall posability, I've got to say that the bends with the hips and the knees are really not all that impressive, and the ankles are not going to do that great a job in terms of the flat foot test, which means he is going to feel a little limited in terms of just straight ground poses. And now, just for one more quick comparison, next to the new Gundam high-grade Universal Century over here, you can see that the big shield is definitely going to help in the height department, but it's still not going to take the cake over the fin funnels. But if ground poses got you down, well, you can get him up in the air here with the help of an Action Base 2. Clear green here is definitely not the right kind of color to go along with this guy here. But nonetheless, this is actually going to let you feel that he's doing something cool with the DE on his back there as he goes whooshing around through space there. B Magnum off to the side is going to look good, and the fact that they've got that open dynamic hand is an actual improvement over the Unicorn mode where they actually only had just an ugly blue hand and didn't even separate between the blue and the gray. And because the DE is going to have to run pretty much vertically here, you're not going to have so many dynamic off-to-the-side poses that we've seen with other various big thrusters that you can put on the back. But nonetheless, if you want to go melee style, just having the old beam sabers there as you pop them out of the forearm, which is nice and easy to do, you can still do some cool stuff with them, and they are going to be giving you the two options. But instead, taking the D off the back here and sealing it up, and you're just going to be swapping off one gray part for another one and closing up the XC, means that he's going to get a really big forearm here. As you can see here, and actually not too many weight issues so far anyway, I've actually had worse luck with this right elbow here, just not wanting to stay in place here. The blue is going to be a little bit plain on the inside of the shield, but the fact that they give you those 5 gray stickers there are going to look good from the outside. But back down to ground poses, you're going to have to be a little bit careful, because if you do put the shield right down here, the actual part that's going to attach it onto the forearm there, it can rotate downwards there in terms of weight issues. But otherwise, he is going to look pretty cool there, and it doesn't seem oversized. It just seems right for a BFS. And even though it's not quite canon here for the Norn, as of episode 6 anyway, especially in his Unicorn mode, you do get the bonus of the Armed Armor VN here that you can put on either mode, Destroyer Unicorn, looking pretty sharp there with the gold foil coming around the teeth as he punches, and definitely you don't want to get grabbed by this Hulk hand. Sort of funny that he's not even hulked out yet. And compared to that closed up one that you see over there, I'd say that this version of the Armed Armor VN, and remember that it can move a fair bit, is definitely a big improvement. So that's going to wrap up my look at the mobile suit mode here for the HGUC Banshee Norn in his Unicorn mode. But don't forget to stick around for the final verdict, and of course let me know what you think of the unbox, the parts, and the MS and video itself. Anyway everybody, thanks for watching, see ya. Is there any way to play this out as sort of Banner versus Hulk? Nah, probably not. You know, he almost looks, at some angles, like he's chasing his own tail.